Hey everyone, this is going to be the players' meeting for World Qualifier. I'm doing it online just because we're doing Board A and Board B, both at Diamonds and Southern at the same time. So I'm obviously not going to be able to be at both places at once. Um, so here it is. I do ask all the captains. I'm going to be sending a link to this video in a text message. I would appreciate if you shared it with your team in your group chat or whatever. Really, everybody needs to know this. There's some really important rules that I'm going to talk about that everybody needs to know. So please share this. I'm going to try to make this video as quick as possible. For the tournament, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between Diamonds and Southern. My dad will be at Southern all day. You'll know the people that can answer questions. There's good people at both places. I'm just a phone call away if needed. I would really like to not get 1,000 phone calls, but I mean, if there are rule issues, I mean, I have no problems answering a phone call. Just for the little, stuff that doesn't really matter, just stupid questions. Just wait till you see me. I'm going to be running back and forth. It's going to be a crazy, crazy weekend. It's a big tournament because of the holidays. This is why we're doing it at Diamonds and Southern at the same time. It is what it is. Next year's World Qualifier will be a lot smaller, but it is what it is. The brackets and match times are posted on the website at leeapa.com. I will put a link to this in the Member Services app. Right when you open the app, it'll be the first thing that pops up. I have it pinned there, where you will be able to get all the information for this tournament. Right there where it says Vegas Cup info, you'll be able to find everything. So literally every question that I've been asked can be answered from the website. Southern Billiards. Please, if possible, if your team is playing there, carpool to Southern Billiards. Parking is going to be very tight there. Diamonds doesn't have this problem. If you have to, rent one of those U-Haul trucks and cram your whole team in the back of it. I just don't want to run out of parking spots. We don't need to be parking at the gas station and all that. Let's try to carpool. Teams showing any debt will not be allowed to play. I think I have everybody squared up. I know all the players have been squared up. There was a couple stragglers, but they're all taken care of now. Your rosters. So the rosters that are posted are the official rosters. I just posted them. So if you looked at it 3 days ago, that wasn't the official roster. But the official rosters are up now, and the handicaps that you will be are on that roster. If you do not have 4 matches in the spring session or 10 matches lifetime at the end of the spring session, you will not be on the rosters and you will not be allowed to play in Vegas Cup. I have had one circumstance where, actually 2 circumstances where people on the team are not going to be on the rosters and they will be allowed to be in the building, but they will not be allowed to give timeouts. And I think I've told both people that. So they can't give timeouts. Your summer matches do not count towards the 10. So if you had 9 matches played at the end of the spring session, playoffs and Money Cup and matches in this session currently going don't count towards that. I'm sorry, there is one person that kind of got shafted. The rosters that are posted are official. If you think there are any mistakes on there, please reach out to me ASAP, not Saturday morning. And the handicaps listed will be your highest handicap from the session you qualified to now. There's a reason why we do it that way. I could explain it a little bit later in the rules, but teams can get disqualified if too many people on the team move up in handicap. That's kind of why we start everybody higher. That's why men are not allowed to play as 1s, 2s in Las Vegas. They can in this tournament. Something I'm doing a little different. I have good reasoning. If you need an explanation, come talk to me. Um, we have secured slots in the Southeast Challenge again. It's kind of a tradition uh, that we've been sending teams up there. It's a very fun tournament. The second place teams are eligible to play in the Southeast Challenge. It's up at Jacksonville, and the entire thing is going to be at Park Ave Billiards. 8-ball and 9-ball are going to be different weekends. We'll work out all the details when I get them. I think they said they were sending something out in the very beginning of June. So we're not going to have first place done this round. It'll be done during 9-ball. So I'll have all the info for you at that time. It's a very fun tournament. My team has played in it before. Kenny Goods, Southern Billiards team has played in it before. Dawn, Logan, and Lisa Carroll have played in it before. You can ask any of us. Everybody's had a blast that goes up to that. So if you finish second place, don't think that you're missing out big time by not going to Vegas, because the Southeast Challenge is right up there, and it's a lot cheaper than Vegas. Okay, tournament rules. I have the full tournament rules posted on the website. You can also find this in the official team manual. I think it's page 72 to 80 off the top of my head. Don't quote me on that. A couple ones that I want to go over that I think are very important that everybody needs to know. Please share this with your team. Another thing before I get into the rules, I'm going to go over the brackets at the end of this video. So if you're unsure at what the brackets look like or how they operate, just hang tight. At the end, I'm going to go over it real quick. If you don't care, you don't have to watch it. Number 3, forfeit times. 15 minutes from the start of 15 minutes from when the match was called to the match must be started. No exceptions. This is going to be a very big time crunch to run these tournaments. There's 39 teams playing in 2 brackets, so we need to make sure that we keep things moving. During the match, once it gets going, there's continuous play. So please know who you're putting up, or have an idea at least. And when the match ends, let's get it going. That person can smoke a cigarette before they get thrown up. Please maybe use the bathroom, but we do need to keep moving. We are using sudden death, so I know not a lot of people like to use that. Let's keep it moving. Rule number 6, 1 timeout per person, no matter what your handicap is, and they have to stay under 1 minute. It's a sportsmanship violation to violate the 1 minute rule. So if it does happen, please just shoot me a text. I do get text messages. I can respond to them if they need to be right away. Don't call me for that. Just shoot me a text. Let me know what's going on. Hey, so-and-so is taking 2-minute timeouts or whatever. And I will deal with it if it happens. But everybody will have the sand timers. Yes, please keep timeouts to 1 minute and 1 per handicap, even if you're a 2. Number 7, all players must have a photo ID. Your nicknames will not print on these score sheets. So if you are one of the people that I have set a nickname to, it's not going to print. Your real name is going to print on the score sheet. If the other team asked to see your ID, you have to show it to them. It's in the rule book. Please make sure all the players on your team have an ID. If for some reason this is going to be a problem, just have that person come talk to me at the beginning of the match. I know everybody, but there are a lot of new teams out of Lehigh. There's a lot of new travel teams. There's a lot of new people in general in this tournament. They might not know everybody. There's teams that only play at Southern and not Diamonds. So please just make sure we have IDs. That's also a rule out in Vegas that is very strictly enforced in Vegas. So make sure you have an ID. Number 8, this is very important, please. Scorekeeping. Innings must be kept and totaled on your score sheet. If they are not, we will return the score sheet to you. I will not take a score sheet that does not have the innings totaled at the very end, the little yellow box. I will be bouncing back and forth. My dad will be at Southern. You can give him your score sheet, and I will instruct him to not take the score sheet if the innings are not totaled. I'm going to be having to put a lot of scores in, and it takes me a lot of time to count your chicken scratch tally marks for your innings. So this must be done. Another thing, the player number, please pay attention to this. It must be written neatly in the box provided. You don't have to write the 339, but everything after the 339, you need to write it in there, because I do not really look at the player's name when I'm putting the score in. I always review it afterwards, but when I'm putting the score in, it's all numbers. So I need to have player name, and I need to have innings totaled on that sheet. If you're in sudden death, the game is supposed to end when the team is mathematically eliminated. So you're not supposed to be playing that match out for ha-has. You can, but don't put it on the score sheet. You just write NF, not finished, on the score sheet, and then turn it in. There's a way for me to input the score. There's a way for me to input the score properly. Those matches really don't have an effect on your handicap, but please just make sure that when the match is over, that's it. We got to stop playing. Any team that's fraudulently keeping score, this is going to be part of the scorekeeping clinics that I'm going to start doing, can be disqualified. If I think you are adding innings when they didn't happen, or defense shots that didn't happen, you can be disqualified. So do not do this. I'm warning you. I would hate to disqualify anybody from this tournament, but if you're not keeping score correctly, or if you're intentionally not keeping score correctly, there is a chance that you will be disqualified. And I'm not going to forfeit one game out. It will be your entire team. Don't do it. Number 10, also very important, no earphones or earbuds or headphones or anything like that can be used in a tournament, in my opinion, or league play. But that's neither here nor there. Also, cell phone usage. If you're taking a shot, you cannot be on the cell phone. And please lower your ringers. We just don't want to distract people that are shooting. A lot of people take this event very seriously. A lot of people practice for this event. So let's try not to, we'll keep the distractions at a minimum. Cue ball fouls. The APA only issues fouls on cue ball fouls. That being said, do not touch the cue ball while it's still rolling. Doing so will result in a foul. So if you cut the 8 ball into the corner pocket and it falls and the cue ball is rolling up the table and you're going to have to break next, so you grab the cue ball, you just fouled and lost the game. So let the cue ball roll. If you think the cue ball is going towards a pocket, do not grab it. Let it fall. Let your opponent get it out of the hopper at the bottom of the table, or you can get it for your opponent. Good sportsmanship. But please do not touch the cue ball while it's in play. We've all seen the match room videos where the guy throws the balls out of the pocket and it bumps the cue ball and he fouls. I mean, that is a loss of game, so don't do it. I would hate to rule somebody to lose a match for something stupid like that. So let the cue ball roll. Number 16, close hits. If a shot looks like it's going to result in a bad hit, step one, and this is something that I've noticed a lot of our players don't do. Step one, you have to stop the match, okay? Don't call me over, and as I'm walking up to a table, your opponent slugs away, because I didn't see it, and it's going to go to the shooter. You have to stop the match first. Explain to your opponent you want to have somebody watch the hit, and then you could go get me or another high-level player at the tournament. Please use a high-level player. No offense to all the 2s and 3s watching this video. Please do not call a 2 or 3 to watch a hit. There are little intricacies involved in certain shots that need to be watched, and lower skill players might not know those intricacies. It's very important. Um, if you do call a 2 or 3 over, they are a referee. So whatever they says goes. So if you don't like the hit, you cannot argue it. Whatever the ref says goes. So please try to stick to me, my father, another high level player, um, on an opposing, not on an opposing team, just somebody random at the pool hall, and try not to interrupt the match. Try not to ask somebody that's shooting a match to watch a hit. I'll do that sometimes, but number 17. This is a huge one. I've beaten this into everybody's head every tournament that we've ever done. You must mark your pockets. Do not have an agreement with your opponent. This is a very important tournament for some people, and if you agree with your opponent that you're going to just call your pockets, and there's an argument, and I get called over, and the pocket was not marked, you put it in the wrong pocket. Please mark your pockets. There are no exceptions to this rule in Las Vegas. There are no exceptions to this rule in tournament play. And just a hint, this is probably coming to regular league play also. Number 19, forfeits. In terms of scorekeeping sake, forfeits are worth 3 points in 8-ball, 20 points in 9-ball for tournaments and playoffs for that matter. So if the team you're playing only has 4 people, that 5th forfeit will be worth 3 points. It always has to be done in the last match. So you can try to calculate your match based on that forfeit, but if the 5th player shows up, they can play. So don't think, the match is over, you finish your 4th match, oh, we won, haha, and then Joe Blow walks through the door, because they're going to be able to play that match as long as it's continuously played. But there are probably going to be some forfeits. Some teams have people that can't make it, or 23 rule, whatever. A forfeit is worth 3 points in 8-ball, 20 points in 9-ball. Number 20, I kind of went over this already. Ineligible players cannot participate or coach. There's some people that didn't get 10 matches played lifetime. There's some people that did not get 4 matches in the spring session. That will make you ineligible. So if the player is not on the roster, they cannot coach. They cannot participate. They can sit with the team. They can talk to their teammates. That's fine. But they cannot coach. Number 22, common players. If we run into this, I will kind of talk to you real quick about it before the match starts. Common players have to sit out or declare a team. I would recommend that common players just sit out of a match. If common players sit out of a match, after that match is done, they can still play on the winning team and they can still play on the losing team. If you declare a team, you cannot play with the other team for the remainder of the tournament. So if Team A is playing Team B, I want to stay on Team A. Team A loses, I cannot go on to play with Team B. You kind of have to pick a team when you go out to Vegas. I will explain that if anybody makes it to the finals that have multiple people going out there. But that's a very low circumstance. That's it for the rules. If you have any questions, I am going to do not even a players meeting. I am going to do a Q&A at 10:25 at Diamonds and 11:25 at Southern. So if you have any questions on these rules, you can ask me. We will all crowd around a table, captains only please, and ask the questions. You can also text me. If I think there's anything that I missed in this video, I will deal with it, but I don't think there is. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you want to know how the brackets are going to work, I am going to explain them right now. And another thing, if I haven't mentioned it, I did post a match time sheet, and I'm going to be texting this to the captains. If you have a 3 o'clock match, please do not come to Southern at 3 o'clock. Because if the match that is holding your match up wraps early, I'm going to score it and call it. And if you're not there when I call the match, you have 15 minutes to get started. Otherwise, it's a forfeit. So, in this example, any pocket, any time is going to be having a 3 o'clock match. However, if YOLO runs over the Cool Cats in 3 games and they finish up at 12:15, by the time I score the match and call it, it'll be 12:30, and any pocket, any time will have to be there at 12:30 to start. So please, at least have 1 or 2 people on your team there at 11-ish, 12-ish, because if your team gets called, you're going to have to play. The reason why I put up that match sheet is if you wanted to come to Diamonds and say rent a 9-foot table, or if you wanted to go get breakfast and not be at Diamonds at 10 o'clock to bum rush the waitresses, you'll have a little time, but let's not wait until 3 o'clock. So this is the bracket. This is an APA, what they call a split bracket. So if you're familiar with tournaments, not even necessarily pool tournaments, but brackets have to be in multiples of 4, and every time it doubles. So you could have a 4-team bracket, an 8-team, a 16-team, a 32, 64, 128, and so on and so forth, 256, and so on and so forth. So you can't have an odd number of teams because it has to work out to one winner. This bracket is basically a 32-team bracket with 8 buys built into it. So if you see the little where it says YOLO and Cool Cats and 8501, that's match number 8501. Below it is 8502, so on and so forth. So all the teams in this column do not have buys. However, there are some buys. The teams on the column to the right is any pocket, any time, short bus, on cue, and every team underneath it has a first round buy built in, unless the team to your left has a buy. And the reason why is because this is a 24-team split bracket, and there's 18 teams, which means there are, actually on this one, I think there's 19 teams. Whatever, there's 5 buys. 5 buys. But in reality, there is 13 buys in this bracket. I'm sorry, it's just the way it worked out. So YOLO and Cool Cats are going to play. This is the Southern bracket. So Southern opens at 11 o'clock. The play will start at 11:30 sharp. So YOLO and Cool Cats will play at 11:30. On Cue has a bye. See You Next Tuesday and Big Black 8 Ball will also play at 11:30. Your Mama and Who's Gonna Beat Us will also play at 11:30. But because On Cue has a bye, they will move to the right because the buys always lose. So Short Bus will play On Cue also at 11:30. Pocket Aces and Sidelines at 11:30. Relentless and Diamond Cutters at 11:30. Rob Roper and Tappin' Kegs also at 11:30. And Rugrats and Just Think at 11:30. So any pocket, any time is waiting on the match to the left, which is YOLO and Cool Cats. So the winner of YOLO and Cool Cats will play any pocket, any time. The loser will move to the left to match 85-21, and they will be waiting on the loser of match 85-16, which is Rugrats and Just Think. I know this is a little confusing, but I just kind of want to run through this really quick. If you still have problems understanding this, please come talk to me. I know this is a little bit difficult bracket. Next year we won't have to deal with this. But if you lose, you always go to the left. If you win, you always go to the right. Um, and then once you get over here to the far left where it says W to 8540 or whatever that number is, I can't really read it, you will bounce back over here and merge back in with the winner's bracket. This is a single modified 24 team split bracket. Um, the reason why I'm not doing this on Digital Pool or Challenge or one of those bracket systems is because none of them support single modified tournaments. You can only do single or double. We can't do either one of those tournaments. Single modified is the APA's way. That's the way we're doing it. So if you have any more questions on these brackets, feel free to reach out. I could try to walk you through it. Or when you see me, come up and ask. I will be at Diamonds tonight, Wednesday, May 15th. I will be at Southern tomorrow, Wednesday, May 16th. I might try to bounce around and see some of the travel teams, but I don't know where I'll be. So, but I'll have this bracket with me on paper, so I could kind of like walk you guys through it. I know it's a little tricky. So just make sure that you know what pool hall you're playing at and what time you have to be there. I would try to get at least your captain there for the morning. The rest of your team straggles in. That's fine. You could start with one player. Try to get two so somebody can keep score. But this is the bracket. They are up. So feel free to go to the website, get your match timed. They're all updated because I just had a team drop out. I'm your Huckleberry and FOTF. I think you both got moved up first thing in the morning at Diamonds. So please share this video. I'm sorry it's a half hour long. I didn't want it to be that long, but it is. So this will save us a lot of time. I am not doing a players meeting at Diamonds or at Southern. I'm doing a quick Q&A. If there's no questions, we're getting going. So be ready. 10:30 at Diamonds, 11:30 at Southern, and the second round we will call the games as they are available. Any questions? Ask them in the Q&A, or you can text me, call me, whatever. Everybody has my number, 239-900-9040. Thank you.